All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Welcome to To Live to Cure's Mind, Body, Spirit last wellness session of the weekend. We're so thrilled to have Crystal back with us today to help us do some guided meditation and some breath work. So we're very excited about that. I just want to make a quick note. We will have one more event just as a thank you at 1 o'clock today to finish this off, but this will be our last session. So if you do not want to be recorded, please mute your mic, mute your video. We are recording these sessions so that they can be made available later on our YouTube channel. So Crystal, welcome. Thank you again. Welcome everyone who's in attendance here right now and in the future.
Thank you so much for having me. So I first like to just say a couple things about what we're going to be doing today. This is a pranayama and meditation class. So pranayama is basically, just as Katie had mentioned, it's breath work. And pranayama is a very powerful tool to help us to relax in our own body, to reduce stress, to become more present, more centered. The benefits are very great. So we're going to combine a little breath work today with our meditation practice, and pretty much everything I have planned for you today, you should be able to take with you and practice on your own, even without coming back to the video. So I'll try to just kind of differentiate each practice that we do. So if there's something that stands out to you, then maybe it's something that you'd like to do on your own time. And everything we do today is just to help invite more ease into our life, invite just a deeper sense of being grounded and centered and supported. So the first practice that we're going to do is we're going to do it lying down. So part of the practices today we'll do lying down and part we'll do seated. I'm going to stay seated so that I can check my iPad to read a little bit. But if everybody else wants to make sure that you come into just a comfortable lying down position. It can even be on your bed, on your couch, on your floor. And I'll just give us a minute to make our way there. Bring in any props that you like to help you be most comfortable, preferably to lie flat if that works for you and your body. But if you need to bring maybe a pillow underneath your knees or under your head or a blanket over your body, you can do that. And as you come to your lying down position, you can just let your eyes soften and begin to close. And we'll just start slowly with our breath. So if you can just allow your breath to just start to deepen. And by deepen, I mean you can start to lengthen your inhales, lengthen your exhales. And you can start to move your breath just into your belly. So as you inhale, your belly expands, and as you exhale, your belly contracts. And we'll just take a couple of grounding breaths here before we begin the practice. And on every exhale that you take, just let your whole body relax, your whole physical body from head to toe. And finishing this last breath that you're on, let's place our hands on our belly. And as you inhale, allow your breath to travel down through your spine into your belly, letting your belly rise, filling up every part of your belly on your inhale. And as you exhale, let your belly contract, sending every part of your breath all the way back out up your spine, out your nose. And do that a couple more times on your own. So you'll feel your hands rise as your belly rises on your inhale, and as you exhale, your belly contracts your hands lower. Let's take 2 more. Last one. And then we'll bring our hands up to our rib cage. And this time we're going to breathe into our rib cage and our lungs. So on your inhale, let your breath travel through your nose into your rib cage and your lungs. Feel that expansion and opening. And as you exhale, feel it contract, and do that a few more times on your own. Filling up your lungs completely, and try to stay out of your belly. We're just focusing on our lungs, our rib cage. One more. And then we'll bring our hand up to our collarbone, so just upper chest, however it feels best for you to place your hands there. And then we'll inhale higher this time so that your collarbone lifts, your upper chest expands on your inhale, and then exhale and it all go. Couple more on your own. Last one. Good, and then go ahead and let your hands lengthen down along your sides. So whatever feels best for you, palms up to receive or palms down if you feel like you would need to. Just kind of feel a little more grounded this morning. So that first pranayama practice that we did, I do that often in my practice. And it's just a great way for us to really bring our awareness to our body, to this moment, to help send signals to our brain from our body as we breathe, to help release any tension, any stress. So in this next one, we're going to put it all together, and this is called yogic breathing. So keeping your hands along your sides, on your inhale, imagine your breath again traveling down through the length of your spine into your belly, letting your belly rise on your inhale. And as your belly fills up, then let your chest, your rib cage fill up, and then your collarbone. And as you exhale, we're going to let our collarbone contract first, and then our rib cage, and then our belly. So just continue on your own. So again, starting with the belly, the rib cage, and then your upper chest. And we just do our best today. So sometimes, depending on our day, what's happening in our bodies and our mind, not all pranayama practice work for us. So we'll do our best. You can always return to belly breathing. Otherwise, we'll just spend just a couple of moments just with this yogic breathing together. We'll remind us to be very gentle with ourselves today. Sometimes our mind is busy and it feels more challenging to practice to let go. Other times it's easier. So just honor where you are today. And let's go ahead and take one more breath here. Good. And then we'll continue to lie on our backs. And this time we're going to move into a body scan meditation with our breath. So keeping your eyes closed, just bring your awareness to your whole body for a moment. And then we'll move our awareness up to the crown of our head and every part of our body that I mentioned. We're going to use our exhale to help release any tension that we're feeling today. Starting at the top of your crown, full breath here. Let your exhale just release any tension that you're feeling. Dropping in a little deeper. And then moving down to your forehead. Full breath. Good. Relaxing all tension in your forehead. Moving down to your eyes. And just notice what you notice as you breathe, relaxing the corners of your eyes, any tension that we might be holding. Moving down into your cheeks. Start with your upper cheeks. Your nose. And we'll just keep deep breathing as we go down our body. Your lower cheeks and your mouth. Letting the corners of your mouth relax as you exhale. Your jaw. Your neck. Your throat. Continuing again to just let your exhales help you drop in deeper. Relaxing all tension in your shoulders. And we just notice what we notice in our physical body as we breathe in this way. We're just being a witness here. And relaxing with your breath, your chest, your upper chest, collarbone. Down into your rib cage, front and back. Your solar plexus. Down into your belly. And your lower back. And your right arm. Right hand. Left arm. Left hand. Down into your hips. So notice again just what you notice and let your exhale soften your hips, letting you be a little more grounded into the floor, releasing any tension on your exhale. And then moving down your right leg. Let's start with right thigh, quads, right knee, right shin and calf muscles, and your right foot. And then your left leg, so left thigh or quads, left knee, left calf and shin, left foot. Taking a couple more deep breaths and just letting your whole body relax. And then I'd like you to take a moment and scan your body just as the observer within you. So we can stay out of our thoughts, out of our mind, and just scan your body and notice what you notice. Moving your awareness to whichever place in your body that you feel like needs just a little more attention today. Maybe you're feeling a little more pain or discomfort in one area or tightness. Could be physically, could be energetically, in your heart, your belly. And then when you find that place, we'll send our awareness there and use your breath to help release any tension that you feel. Focusing your attention on that one place, also take a moment and just notice what it feels like. Again, no judgment, no stories, just what does it feel like? What comes up for you? Does it feel like heat? Is there a texture to it? You can imagine what it looks like. What does it look like as well? And just the first thing that comes to you. Maybe it has a color or a shape. Maybe it has an emotion that surrounds it, what's inside of it. Again, no judgment, no stories. We just notice what comes up, notice what's there. And you can maybe even ask it if it has a voice for you or a message. And then we're going to use our breath and just imagine that whatever it is that we saw, where there's tension or tightness or pain, and we just imagine it getting less and less. Maybe your imagination comes in and just scoops it up and out, or maybe you just watch it get smaller and smaller. Continue with that slow breaths, breathing into that space. And staying in that space, I'm going to just mention a little bit about the meditations we just did, and then we'll move into the next practice. So, first one, just that simple body scan meditation that helps you really get into your body and relax from head to toe. And then this last little meditation that we did, I often work with people individually, and we'll do a practice like that just to help remove things that are maybe stuck or stored in our physical body. Kind of a, not kind of, but a really good healing meditation. So, good practice to try on your own. So, for this next meditation, I'm going to bring our awareness to our heart center. So, staying on your back, keeping your eyes closed. Just bring your awareness to your heart for a moment. It might even be helpful to place your hands on your heart if that feels right for you. And we'll just stay with that slow, deep breathing. See if you can just feel energy in your heart center. And this energy might start to look like white light. And even if you don't feel it, just imagine it for a moment, this bright white light from your heart. And this bright white light from your heart as you breathe can just start to grow brighter and bigger. And it starts to expand bigger and bigger. So it starts to travel through your body. You can just imagine or visualize it growing from your heart, and that white light starting to expand into your entire torso, down your arms, into your hands, down your hips, legs, into your feet, and up through your head, your crown, so that every single cell in your body is filled with this bright white light. And just take a moment and just feel the energy of it. This white light is pure love, compassion, healing energy, inviting more ease into your whole being. And this white light helps to bring us what it is that we want for ourselves in this moment. More ease, more joy, more love, just letting that all come into our body. And then we're going to let our light start to expand bigger and bigger. And you can imagine that light coming out of your hands now, out of your heart, till there's this bubble of light surrounding you, your whole body. And then you can allow that light to start to get bigger and bigger. And let that light grow as big as you want it to grow. So maybe it surrounds your whole house and your family. Maybe it surrounds your community. Maybe our country. Maybe the whole planet. So whatever resonates with you today could just stay with you. And if you are expanding beyond yourself, then we imagine what it is that we want for ourselves. we also want for everyone else. Taking a few more breaths here. And as we stay connected to our heart center, take a moment and just invite in anybody else in your life that you'd like to bring with you into this bubble or circle of light, love, healing. Maybe it's our whole group this weekend. And then staying connected to your heart center, we'll imagine that light for our planet, helping us to get back to nature, seasons, the cycle of life. With everything going on in our world, that's the one thing that we need more than ever, is to be in touch with nature, to our Mother Earth. So we send that same light from our heart to the earth. And if it's not there already, place your right hand on your heart center and let your left fingertips touch the ground beneath you. So as we send the light to the earth, let's imagine it coming from our heart down through our left arm into the earth through our fingertips. And at the same time, we'll imagine that same light and love coming from the earth up through our fingertips to our heart. That'll be our next little practice for a moment. So again, breathing from our heart into the earth on our exhales, and inhaling from the earth up to our heart. Asking to live in harmony with the earth. We'll take just a couple more breaths here. All these meditations that we're doing are very intentional. And as a yoga teacher and through my life experience, where we place our attention is so important. So taking just another breath or two, just connect to the earth through our heart, breathing in her love and breathing out ours to her. sharing that same white light. So these last couple meditations that I did, like I said, are very intentional. And they all start from our heart. So if you'd like to practice them on your own, you are always welcome to, especially when you want to find more peace, more love, inviting that healing in this moment as best as we can. So let's allow just a little moment before we transition into a seated position. So maybe 30 seconds or so. So you can maybe lie flat and just feel that energy for a moment. Since I can't see any of you right now, I'll just give it a few moments on my own and then we'll come to sit. Okay, so assuming that we're all seated now, do just a couple more practices. So we'll let our eyes close. And when you're sitting, I like to elevate my sits bones just to keep my spine nice and tall. It helps for it to be naturally tall. You could also sit in a chair if you like. Really, if you want to, you can even stay laying down, but we'll do guided seated. So coming into your comfortable seat, I like to sit cross-legged, but do what works for you. And again, we'll let our eyes close, and we're going to do this next practice is a pranayama practice, but it's also really a meditation as well. So it's called Kumbhaka. So letting your eyes close, your spine be nice and tall, and let your whole body relax again. Maybe intentionally taking a couple of breaths to just relax your shoulders and your spine. Feeling your sits bones ground into your cushion or whatever you're sitting on. And then we'll take an inhale together. Just a nice full inhale. And then exhale together. And at the end of your exhale, we're going to pause. So we don't want any strain, but we want to hold out our breath for as long as we can. Again, no strain. And then when you're ready, go ahead and take an inhale again. And then an exhale. And then pause again for as long as you can without any strain. And this is going to be our practice for the next few minutes. I'll also say on your inhale, we're breathing in and out of our nose, but try to send your breath into your belly. That's a good habit to get into, sending our breath into our belly. And exhaling, letting our belly contract. And then pause. And in that pause or that space, sometimes it's also referred to as a gap, where we are in between our breath, in between our thoughts, a place where we can just rest. And so we'll continue on our own. You might notice that that pause starts to grow longer and longer without any strain. Keep breathing. Continue to breathe in this way, and I'm going to just offer a little reading from the Yoga Sutras, which is an ancient text. And Patanjali says, by cultivating attitudes of friendliness toward the happy, compassion for the unhappy, delight in the virtuous, and disregard toward the wicked, the mind stuff retains its undisturbed calmness, or that calm is retained by the controlled exhalation or retention of the breath. So he's talking about this practice that we're doing here. We can practice this at any time that we feel agitated, uncomfortable, overwhelmed. We let the prana regulate the mind and not the other way around. He says that we gain spaciousness. When we gain spaciousness, we gain access to our freedom. So we'll just take a couple more breaths after hearing that and just breathing that in and then find that space, that freedom. I'm going to read just one more thing on pranayama from a different ancient yoga text. They say, life is the period between one breath and the next. A person who only half breathes, only half lives. He who breathes correctly acquires control of the whole being. So we can use this pranayama practice in our life just to invite that life force into our body, to invite that ease, that deep sense of calm. Let's go ahead and take just one more round. All right. Keeping your eyes closed, maybe let your body just shift a little bit. Sometimes when we sit, especially if we're not used to meditating, sometimes our body gets a little stiff or we start to feel all of our aches and pains. So Just allow 30 seconds or so. Good. Going to stretch out my legs here as well. So we've got a couple more practices. So this has been a lot of small practices together already. So luckily this is being recorded. And if there's something that really resonates with you that felt good for your body, then hopefully you can bring it with you when you leave. So this next one will be seated. This is a cleansing meditation, one of my absolute favorites. So I tend to really gravitate towards water. I love water. So this one is really helpful for me. So we'll go ahead and close our eyes, just as we've been doing. And again, this is a cleansing meditation. So if there's something, that's coming up for you that you know that you like to kind of wash away your concerns, your worries about it, or even if you're feeling emotional, then sometimes this is a good way. But so again, eyes closed, spine nice and tall, and we're just gonna imagine being underwater. And when I say underwater, imagine either being in the shower and the water is washing over you, or being in the rain, or being in a waterfall. So just choosing one of those things that feels best for you. So it doesn't matter which one it is, but just imagine that water washing over you and cleansing you. You can even imagine yourself in a stream and just letting the water flow over you. And just keep imagining this, and I'm going to share just a little story. I was backpacking and I was at this glacier fed lake, so it was quite cold, and there was this Japanese man that was visiting as well. And he said to me, he was in swimming, and I was like, I'm not sure, it's a little too cold, I'm not sure I want to go in. And he said to me that all of your worries and concerns will be washed away by the cleansing of this river or this lake, glacier fed lake. And that's all I needed to be able to get in and just allow that cleansing to happen. And energetically, it felt very true for me. So this is a practice I just bring in and visualize for myself often when I feel like I just need to let go of my worries, let go of any concerns about the future, worries in the past. So whether I'm actually in water or just imagining water wash over me, and simply just allow that cleansing process to happen. So we'll spend just a couple more moments here. You can also use the water as this great analogy for our life. Sometimes in our life we feel as though there is a dam, right? That's blocking the flow of water, the flow of life. And sometimes there are just rocks that it bumps into. But the more we are intentional with our meditations, the more we are intentional with our life, the more we flow like the river, effortlessly. No dams. Nothing blocking us. And then we're going to let that water stop and bring our awareness back to our body. And I've got just one more cleansing meditation for us. Actually, maybe two more because they're kind of related. So some of you might know that there are very healing powers in crystals. And maybe you do, maybe you don't know that, but we're just going to imagine. So eyes closed, awareness on our body again. And this time we're going to imagine two different visualizations. So the first one is imagining a shower of crystals washing over you. And maybe for some of you that even feels better, more powerful, more true than the water. So just a shower of crystals washing over you, cleansing you. And then that shower of crystals can stop and we'll move into the second crystal cleansing meditation. So imagine that you're just walking down a path, and up ahead of you, you see this crystal palace. The palace might be small, like a dome, might be large, but it's made entirely of crystals. And you just walk down that path and you see the door. And you go inside and you just feel the healing energy of all the crystals in the palace. And just noticing what it looks like, what it feels like. And just receiving what it is you would like to receive in this palace of crystals. And then you can imagine yourself walking out, back down the path. And we bring our awareness back to our body, where we are here and now. Good. And let's see, I have enough time for at least one more, maybe two. So this next meditation and all of these practices I do on my own pretty regularly. So they seem to be pretty powerful in my own life. So this next one, we'll close our eyes and we're just going to imagine a bubble around us. So sometimes we're very sensitive to things in our external world, to people, to situations, to work, right? To all the craziness going on in our country right now. So we're just going to keep our eyes closed. And you can do this practice with eyes open as well. But for our time together, we'll close our eyes and just imagine this bubble around you. So kind of like that white light that we had earlier. So this bubble around us, around our whole body. And then you can imagine, maybe pick something or someone, we'll say, or a situation that really triggers you. And we'll imagine that away from us with a bubble around it. So this energetic bubble around both of us. And in between the two bubbles, there is space. So we're not colliding, we're not being affected by the energy of that which triggers us or isn't in our highest interests. So there's space in between. So we imagine that space, we Feel strong in our own bubble, as though we are really just grounded on our own 2 feet, supported and connected to the earth, remembering our heart center, love and light. And that person or that situation or whatever it is in that other bubble, maybe you can even imagine that same love and light for them so that they can heal. And if it's really toxic, without any judgment, but if you know that that relationship is really toxic, then you can even imagine that there's fire in between so that anything that comes from that toxic situation just goes into the fire. So it doesn't touch you, just kind of gets burned, and not a vicious burn, it's just that energy gets burned, doesn't come into your circle, your center, your bubble. Again, staying strong in our space, grounded on our feet. That circle around us is there to just hold space for us to be where we are. You can even imagine it's this bubble of protection if you like. But we're not affected by the world around us. We can still send love and light and good intentions. We don't merge, we stay who we are. Okay, so bringing your awareness back to this moment, we'll do one more meditation that I really love. I think we have just enough time for it. You can move your body around a little bit if you need to. You know, this is an awful lot. Okay, but when you're ready, let your eyes close again. And this one's one of my favorites. Well, they all are, but this one in particular. So what I'd like you to do is just to bring your awareness to your body and just imagine your life right here held in your body. This is you in this lifetime. And then I want you to just take a moment and imagine the life that you want right next to you. What does it look like, feel like? And it can be completely unique to you, what you desire. Maybe it's just one little change that you would like. Maybe it's more peaceful relationships. Maybe it's a different relationship with yourself and everything that you're going through. So you just imagine what we would like or what we think we would like. It doesn't have to be something that we fix to, but it's right next to us. And we come back to our body in this life, and we just notice the difference. Maybe you notice the difference in energy. Maybe you know just the difference based on your desires for what you have now, what you want. But we notice the difference between our life now and the life that we want. And then I'd like you to just imagine moving your body, maybe even do it physically, but you move your body into that place, that new life that you imagined for yourself. And we don't have to stay here, we're just testing it out. What does it feel like? Maybe we're not ready for it. Maybe there's resistance. Or maybe we are ready to step into that we want. So for the next minute, maybe you just play around with it and just be curious. This life right here that we have, that we hold, and that one next to us with a little bit of change. Maybe there's more grace. There's no right, no wrong. Notice which one feels better to you in this moment. And then you can choose, just with your imagination right now, which one you want to stay in. Right here, right now. Or maybe you step into the one next to you. Maybe you step halfway in. Just make the choice for yourself. Now, when you have chosen, you can bring your awareness back to your body in this moment. And you can go ahead and open your eyes. So our time is up. I just want to say just a couple of things about everything. So my work that I tend to do often is a lot of energetic practices, and you experienced some pranayama today, some meditation, some guided meditation. So in my experience in the beginning, maybe some of this stuff doesn't really make sense or doesn't feel right, or maybe you're really drawn to it. So I just encourage you to explore that a little bit deeper. And I want to thank everyone for joining me today. And thank you so much for having me, Katie, be a part of your weekend. I'm glad I got to close with all of you. So I like to end just with a little namaste. Hands come to your heart center. And we just recognize that namaste again means the light in me honors and sees the light in you. That when we remove all that other stuff, you and I are the same at our core, same core desires, the same longing for peace, for love, for all of that. So thank you so much. Namaste.
Crystal, can you mention too where people might be able to find you online or take classes from you online if they're interested in just expanding their practice?
Sure. So right now, I only teach on Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. for a Vinyasa yoga class. And you can find me on Yoga Samadhi's website, which is columbiagorgeyoga.com. And then I've also got a few other things that I've just been working on. I do work one-on-one with people sometimes, so you could always reach out to me if you want more of this type of practice. I do teach yoga teacher trainings. Our next one coming up is spring next year, so March through June. And then you can also find me on crystalborup.com. So that's my website that's going to be shifting a little bit in the near future. So if you want to just kind of follow what I've got going on, or there's always Instagram or Facebook as well. So
great, thank you.
Yay. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. I hope you enjoyed our wellness weekend, and thank you so much to amazing practitioners like Crystal to help us seal in our weekend of wellness. So we couldn't be more grateful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.